Thanks for joining us for another episode of Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement. I am here at the News Forum where all voices matter. It is time once again for our monthly panel. I'm very pleased to welcome back to this program the Honorable Joe Oliver, former Minister of Finance and Minister of Natural Resources in the Stephen Harper government. And the Honorable Gary Mar rejoins us as well. He was a minister in the Alberta government as well as agent for Alberta in Washington, D.C. Both gentlemen bring a host of experiences to the table. Welcome to both of you.
Great to be with you.
Always happy to be here.
I appreciate that very much. And a lot has happened since our last chit chat. Obviously, I'd love to get just a sort of state of the union from both of you, just to start the program. We're definitely into the post-election, post-throne speech era now for the Mark Carney government. A lot is happening on the economic and trade and negotiation front. So, Joe Oliver, why don't you give us your sort of top-of-mind thoughts about where this country is right now?
Well, economically, of course, we're struggling somewhat. The Bank of Canada kept the bank rate of 2.75% flat. There are some people who think that they should have reduced rates because inflation was down to 1.7% for the month, down from I think it was 2.4 the previous month. But mixed messages. But a rising concern about a potential economic downturn. In really a recession coming on, so we'll see whether the bank was a little bit slow in moving. But one of the headwinds, of course, that they're confronting is are the tariffs, and that is a critical preoccupation of the new or if you will, fourth Liberal government. The Prime Minister was during the campaign was very much elbows up in his approach. It turned out that was perhaps a little disingenuous because it was more heads bowed and hands up when he removed all the retaliatory tariffs. And didn't basically tell Canadians about it. Now that the steel and aluminum tariffs are being doubled from 25 to 50%, which is going to have a major negative impact on the Canadian economy. The Prime Minister is weighing whether he should or shouldn't retaliate. There's a substantive issue whether he should or he shouldn't. The psychology initially in the country was he simply must, and so he went along with that, and then it turns out didn't. So I'm not necessarily being critical because when we impose a retaliatory tariff, it's going to hurt us more than it's going to hurt them, and at a certain point it becomes unsustainable. So at the end of the day, and I guess I'm quoting Pierre Poilievre on this, you can't change the president's mind. What you can do is make the country as strong as possible to confront the issue, and so that's where we're at. It looks like we're going to see a budget, but it was something that the Minister of Finance, François-Philippe Champagne, said there wasn't going to be this year, which would have been kind of an extraordinary abrogation of democratic accountability, but he was quickly overruled by the Prime Minister. It was kind of an amazing thing to see happen within the 24-hour period. And
Right.
we're going to have a budget. Look, those of us who are a bit skeptical still want this government, of course, to succeed in the interests of the country, but we're concerned whether the sudden conversion from climate hysteria to resource development is in fact sincere, particularly given the fact that the regulatory and legislative impediments to resource development have not been removed.
There's a lot to chew on there, Gary Mar, and I think I'm going to allow you to start your assessment of where things are at after the break, because I think this is Joe has raised some very important issues, obviously, with the economy, resource development, trade. So let's take a pause for our wonderful sponsors at this moment, and we'll be back with our panel, in particular Gary Marr's comments after the break. Please stay with us.